All right. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Dungeon of the Week. Woohoo!
Woo, woo, woo.
Yay.
This is Dungeon of the Week presented by Zero Session. Zero Session is an online marketplace where game masters can list their paid games and players can book them with the click of a button. Every episode of Dungeon of the Week is a new game with new characters and a special guest game master. This week, we're excited to have Freddie running the game. Hello,
Ready.
Freddie. Tell us a little about yourself, Freddie. Freddie, hang on, you're not broadcasting.
Yeah, you're muted or
Uh-oh.
something.
Oh,
There
that's
it
always a
is.
There
good
it
way to
is.
start a game. Is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Psych.
no, my name's Freddie Dickinson. I live in New Orleans, from Houston area, and I've been running games for about 6 years, and happy to be running this game for you all.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. So we're gonna go keep that going around the circle here. I'm Trevor. I'm from Michigan originally. I'm living in New Orleans. I've been here for about 8 years now. And yeah, I'm excited to be here too.
Am I next in the circle? Yes, I am. My name is Alyssa. I am from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I am good at painting flames on my face. That's my fun fact.
Your fun fact. My
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll do that way. Hello, I'm Kevin. I am from California. I'm the only other player here that is not from New Orleans or
That's true
currently
on
living
this
there.
one.
Yeah.
Um, I'm the exotic one right now.
Yeah.
My fun fact for the week. 1 second. Uh, a little dumb thing about me. I play simulator PC games, farm sim, the trucking sim, flight sim, stuff like that. A
Yeah.
few weeks ago, I blew $350 on one of these. It is
Oh
a
no.
button box. It has switches
Is
Oh
that for
my
your
and
god.
trucks?
for trucks or for racing car games and stuff like that. It even has a keyed ignition.
I'm so sorry to hear
Wow.
Uh,
That is exciting.
um, so it's funny because I used to pick on other people like, oh, what you bought like a racing wheel for your Gran Turismo? Well, I have that all
That's
that crap
legit.
set up too.
That's legit. That's pretty
That's
cool.
my fun fact.
All
Was
right,
it
I like it.
worthwhile?
Yeah, I think it was worth
Okay,
it.
good. That's what you gotta know. Good.
Hey, everybody. I'm Carlos. Originally, I'm from Miami, but I've lived all over the place, and I now live in New Orleans. And fun fact about me, I've been wearing this hat all day. Since I
In
woke up, I've been really
anticipation.
just trying to get in character. So I've had this on since breakfast time.
Did you
Made
get
my
more
way with it.
respect?
I'm gonna play D&D with it now.
Did you find that people respected you more?
Only ironically.
We should
Nice.
say that is a your character is a chef today. So it's not
Yeah,
Oh
just
yes,
completely
yes,
very
random.
weird
yes.
Today I'll
It
be
is
playing a
true.
torturer.
All right.
Nice.
Great. So I think we're ready to get started with our character intros. Oh, I guess we start with a game master plot
Yeah.
intro. What do you know?
Sure. Yes. So today's adventure is called Only Have Eyes for You. And we've got a landing page here. And um, as far as I
Beautiful.
understand, and we'll learn more about this very soon, you all come from nobility or related to nobility in some way. Um, and the adventure today is uh, a plea for you to come see Hodai in the Upside Down Temple, as he has vital information about some terrible activities going on at the cathedral in his area, and we'll see what he has to
Oh.
tell you about. First, I'd like to hear who is going on this adventure, and
Definitely.
maybe also, as you're describing yourselves, give me some sense of why you might trust Hodai and to go out there at his request.
Nice.
Cool. So I guess I'll start since we've got a little gimmick today with our characters.
Yeah.
I am going to be playing a nobleman, and the rest of the players here are kind of hangers-on and courtiers and whatnot.
Speak for
I have a
yourself.
chef, a butler, and a squire slash horse. So here we go. My name is Albrecht von Werfinheimer. I was raised in the manner of all nobles. My every need was cared for, my every whim made glorious reality. It was clear to me from a young age that I was better than the other children in every way. I was harder, faster, stronger. By the age of 11, I could bench press 200 pounds, and by 15, I was married to my sister. My life could not have been better. But then it all went wrong. The king had my father executed for the crime of being too good looking, and my mother was killed in a riot which followed. It was up to me to regain the lost honor of my family, and the only way I could accomplish this was through a series of adventures, each more ridiculous than the last. I ordered the servants of my household to be imprisoned until my return, and I set off. I took with me a butler to ensure my shoes had a brilliant shine, a cook to make my favorite frank and bean casserole, and a squire to die for me in combat. But as it turned out, instead of dying for me, my squire turned into a horse for me, which was also good. So that's Albrecht. I'll pass it on to my horse, Alyssa.
It's a tough act to follow up on. From Aqualonia, Conan.
Yeah.
Bonjour, I am Evie, formerly Miss Evelyn Dior de Chanel. I haven't always been relegated to the marvelous equine specimen that stands before you now. A lifetime ago, I was meant to marry Michel Lavaux, but he was a dreadful sod who had the way of looking like he was drooling from his eyelids. And I had finer tastes. Needless to say, I left one night before the cock crowed. You see, I always knew there was something special deep inside of me, a song on the tip of my tongue, waiting to be sung. Something very moving, like that Hallelujah song. You guys probably know that one. When I got to a hotel and I found Sir Albrecht's ad for a squire listed in the classifieds, I was thrilled. Fast forward a few weeks through a training montage, and it was time for me to accompany Sir Albrecht in glorifying his glorious name by regaining a stolen treasure. Unfortunately, there was a confrontation with a powerful dark wizard called He Who I Can't Help But Name. I drew my sword and I saved Sir Albrecht, but not in time to escape having my lovely lady lumps transformed into a flank and buttocks. Shockingly so, when the wizard's bolt of powerful magic struck, my draconic bloodline was activated and my sorceress powers revealed. There had been something special inside of me. Now only Albrecht, his staff, and a small group of others even know that I can speak, and I will journey until I find someone powerful enough to turn me back. Until that time, I remain the sorceress.
Nice. Sorceress. Great. Kevin, you're up next.
My name is Sir Figginsworth. I've attended the Butler Academy of Butlering Butlers, and I excelled in everything that was assigned to me: cleaning, dusting, table setting. I'm really good at table setting. However, because I decided to flunk out in my senior year, I was assigned to the not most noble of people, Sir Albrecht. And even though we are both called sirs, my title is different. Mine is bestowed upon me for grand butler butler tearing. I don't know what butler tearing. And unfortunately, I am stuck. Not as a slave, but sometimes it does feel like it.
Great.
And
Carlos.
I'm probably gonna go back and forth between shitty British accent and weird French accent. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
That is the way it must be. When you are
I
noble,
am
that is.
Yes,
I am
quite.
Francois Renault. I had a perfectly normal upbringing and a childhood not unlike that of many other fatherless bastards. And according to the madam, when I was old enough to walk, I was old enough to work. But not like that. I was working in the kitchens, making food for the courtesans and the noble lords coming in and out of the brothel. And eventually I realized that it was my ticket out of the slums. I cooked my way up the ladder of nobility, fighting other chefs in the back alleys of manors and estates, until one day word of my skill spread far and wide, and I caught many the eye of a lord and lady, and I served them all, sometimes at the same time, until I met Albrecht, who made me an offer I could not refuse. And
Poor
now I
Albert.
travel with him on this adventure in search of rare ingredients and even rarer recipes, accompanied only by my trusty companions, the chef's
Trusty. Oh, them, yeah.
paring knife.
Definitely better than us.
Poor Albrecht didn't get to get served.
All right. Well, I'm happy to meet all of you. And so I'm going to move us. Before I do, though, there's some setup on your adventure here. So you received a sort of vague note from Hodai. And Hodai, let's say, is somebody who's familiar with Albrecht and as the noble in the area. And perhaps knows of you from earlier in life. He sent you also this sort of random looking demonic scroll that implies some foul doing and a lot of scribbling, but he hasn't fully explained himself. He's just asked that you meet him at the Upside Down Temple, and he sent you a care package with 4 potions. And if you look in the journal, you can see those potions there and what they do. Potions for this session will be used as bonus actions, and these are souped up potions.
Nice.
So you won't find these in the normal vendor. But please decide which of you will take which potion.
Okay.
I feel as though I must have the potion of miracles because I need a miracle to turn me back into a human.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to be tanking, so I'll take the potion of quickness.
Okay.
I suppose I will take the potion of revival.
Good.
Oh, you got it. All right. So
Okay.
for the viewers, the potion of quickness will gain 1 additional action or reaction that can be used immediately
Mm.
or held until the end of the round. The potion of revival will revive all hit points instantly.
Oh.
Potion of Stone Aegis will gain 20 temporary hit points. And the Potion of Miracles, if drank ahead of any danger, will allow you to re-roll 1 future d20 roll of your choice.
Nice.
So
Not the right
he provides you this and sends you on your way towards the Upside Down Temple. Any traveling affairs?
I would like to know what Hodai looks like. How old is he?
Well, I think we'll say that Albrecht is the one familiar with him and hasn't seen him in many a year. And so, but from his recollection, he was a young man as himself at the time, and an adventurer who seemed to be prone to paranoia.
Mm.
The man was crazy. He saw things in shadows.
Yes, and being not super familiar with the Upside Down Temple,
Oh my god.
you arrive and built into the mountain is this temple that's been carved upside down in all of its stairs and columns and banisters. And sitting in a chair, somehow strapped to the ceiling, is Hodai. He seems very still and solemn as he stares at you as you enter into his temple. He says, "So you have come, I see, and you have brought friends. and your horse.
I resent that.
Did this horse speak?
I am more powerful than you can imagine. Just because I am in this body does not mean that you should be so judgmental. I thought with a name like Hodai you would be more open minded.
I should be. Yes, it is why I am here. I have drawn you here, and you have come, I see. Perhaps you seek lost honor, or looking for magical means, some sense of happiness, or
Yes,
rare
happiness.
findings. All these things you will find. And he draws you closer underneath him in the
Mm.
temple, and he says, Albrecht, I have long been pondering you and your family. In
Yes,
this,
we get that a lot.
yes, I sense you may be looking for some chance at improving your station and making everyone remember who you really are.
I am a hero. The people will understand this, or they will all die by my hand.
Hmm, sage words, though without a true quest worthy of such bravery, perhaps you may not reach it.
That
And
is what
so,
I always tell him.
yes,
I
I'm
I
sure you
always
do.
tell him, you have to honor the people or they will not love you.
My horse will not shut up about it, so we came.
I have a big mouth. I do.
It is true.
Your Franken beans, my lord.
This is hardly an opportune time to enjoy the Franken beans. You know I like to be seated by a fire when I eat these. Take them away.
Of course.
Is Hodai upside down? He's
he's
upside down in a throne.
yes, he's upside down, sitting and staring out the opening to the temple.
You seem very powerful. Do you know anybody that is powerful that can do something about me?
Perhaps, in fact, the reason why I drew you here, and perhaps you got my message and my scroll, is there are foul happenings occurring nearby, and I believe they may have something to do with our dear Albrecht. And
How this is allegations that have not been substantiated. Foul things having to do with me. It's a
you do
terrible.
not see what I see.
He is so
I
worried about his
came to
image.
this temple. I sat in this chair. I stared for many years.
Oh, that sounds
And
boring.
I
Yes,
saw.
quite.
The
I have
blood has
seen.
rushed to your head, Hodai. It is twice as large as a normal man's head. No one has told you this, I am sure, because they are worried about hurting your feelings. But it is true.
I have heard
Ugh,
people do it to get high.
perhaps. Nevertheless, I must give you something else you fail in your quest. Beyond this temple lies a dark cathedral, and in this dark cathedral, there are those who would placate foul
Mm.
aberrations. And in my visions, I have seen you, Albrecht, and I have seen you become a part of this
Oh,
aberration's
oh,
mission.
Hmm.
I fear what
no.
this may mean, and I have not but this one token to offer for your safety. And he takes he puts his hand up to his eye, and then he like pulls off his eye patch, and he hands you. He drops down into Albrecht uh, a totem, um,
We
and
need
I've put it in your. I'm putting it in your journal now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
we need
Ooh.
Albrecht to fund this operation. He cannot become an aberration.
This totem is disturbing. Take it from me, Figginsworth.
Is that your eyeball from when you were watching?
Yes, it
Oh,
is the only way I could
oh,
give
grotesque.
you the benefit of my knowledge.
You are
Hand it
too
over here then,
kind.
sir.
Yes,
I will protect
Figginsworth.
it for you.
keep
He's
it.
good at. He will
Yes.
dust it, and it will be pristine.
Oh, I mean, it looks clean enough. It's just going into the pocket.
Quite
Yes.
Okay.
clear.
So, does anyone have any magical inklings or understandings, arcana, knowledge, history
I
things?
Oh,
do. I have both of those things.
I fancy myself a bit of a history buff.
technically I'm proficient in history, but I have a 1.
Okay. Well, someone who maybe would like to glean a bit more about this totem, give me an arcana or a
Oh yes.
history check, one of those.
Somebody hold it up for me. I cannot with my hoofs.
All right. I mean, it looks kind of like this.
Wow. Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
All right, a 12. Well, I think
backwards.
you would know that this is a totem and that as such, and bestowed by Hodai to you, contains some power. Um, before you leave, Hodai says, "Hold on to this and use it to help each other, for the bonds you make are all you have." And
Mm.
so
Preach, preach, Hodai, preach.
it has two effects. It can act as a counter spell,
Hmm.
Ooh,
or it can act to remove an effect.
okay.
Um, but
Nice.
you have to touch the person.
Mm.
And then
Counterspell
for the counter
removal.
spell, you have to be holding the thing.
Okay.
So I've got this in the handout now, very simply stated. Um, so
Great.
who has it to start?
So
Yes,
Figginsworth will carry it.
Okay,
yes.
Sir Figginsworth.
I trust him.
All right.
Keep it safe. Keep it secret.
Just
And
like
so
you, sir. Quite.
with that, he says, "Now off with you. I have no more to tell you. Good luck, and may we see each other again."
We will defeat these people doing these bad things, and a song will be sung of our deeds.
Oh, I wish. Well, so let me get this straight. We have to dispel the bad people before they turn Albrecht into an aberration. His name does work well with aberration. Albrechtation. Sorry.
Yes, and then from GM to players, yes, the Hodai's mission essentially is warning Albrecht that he's somehow been tangled up, or his family,
Right, right.
in
Okay.
some foul works going on at this cathedral,
Hmm.
Okay, great.
and he's seen this ahead of time, and he's warning you and offering you this totem of warding.
Okay.
Which Albrecht did
Cool.
not take.
Cool. Cool.
Good. Glad we got that figured out.
He can't hold things for himself.
So,
Power below him.
yeah, right. So, we're heading out or what?
Yep, I just getting your token set up, and now you should be on a new screen.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, it is.
Okay, scroll down to the bottom if you're not
Oh my.
seeing much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Albrecht, get onto my flank.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the horse. I have a lance, so it's better on horseback. I will sit astride you and strike down any who come close.
So as you enter this cathedral, it's dark and creepy, but there are some torches lit. Um, there seem to be several colonnades and a long hallway leading to the main space of the church. To the sides are some stairs that might lead to some boarding areas, and you hear the creaks and cracks of an old building and see the old worn stone work on the floor and walls. Um, and the signs of the cross appear, though many seemed burned out or old in nature. Um, how do you approach as you enter?
Oh, I do not do well
Sir,
with stairs, but sorry, Figgins.
Yes, I'd like to
Sir Albrecht,
hear
yes.
from Sir Figginsworth.
Alright.
Hearing Hodai and being assigned to Albrecht, as you enter this creepy space, how do you feel?
Most terribly and dreadful. The butler and me, the schooling, wants me to take over and begin dusting and cleaning and organizing right away. However, I feel that I will not have time to do that. Sir Albrecht, I mean, this is your journey. It is your call where we start.
Yes, we.
True.
One of you should go ahead.
How
Probably.
about the
Oh,
horse?
I will
I'm
go
riding
ahead.
on the horse.
Oh, that is
They
true.
must examine their kitchen.
Okay.
I have not had my franks and
Yes,
beans
yes.
yet.
You know, Renault is a very, very sneaky chef. You know, sometimes he fills up my food trough and I have not even seen it happen. So maybe he should go.
Yes, a good chef is best tasted and not seen.
We
Something like that.
So, if Chef Renault would like to look around a bit,
Yes, I will. I will do my best to sneak
okay.
about. It's not very good. Not very sneaky today.
I can't see the
I am going to.
screen.
I'm going to go over here.
Okay. So you start trying to move quietly through the space. Why don't you also give me a perception check?
Yep.
Hmm. Okay, so
Oh,
you're
that is.
creeping about. You hear the creaks and cracks of the
Oh,
building. You see that there is a torch lit up the stairs uh, that leads around a corner.
Hmm. It just dawned on me that most kitchens wouldn't be upstairs, so I'm going to go this way.
stay close to the ground.
Okay, so as you turn around, let's say, before leaving that area, you think you hear some shuffling of shoes on stone from up the stairs. Do you continue as you were?
Um, I think I hear somebody.
Do you
Climb
hear
up right now.
somebody?
As he says loudly.
That's part of the low stealth roll.
Yeah.
Does anyone else respond or react in the space?
Uh, I would like to smell things that are going on. I guess I am right behind him, and I'd like to
Sure.
be checking things out.
Why don't you give me a perception check as
Okay. I spy with my horsey eye.
well? All right. So you are sniffing about and you get a scent of human body odor, um,
Oh,
and it appears the smell seems close, um, and so something about your horsey sense says this bo smell is nearby.
I smell a very raunchy stink. We must be getting close to these aberrations. It smells just like an aberration.
Quite, the heathens have no time to bathe.
No, it's repulsive. Let us go on, but sneakily.
So if the group kind of moves, you know, in the middle of the space or so and talking,
Whoa.
uh, and Chef, you did hear something. So as you move away from the stairs, um, those who may not be seeing, but out of the stairs, a robed figure appears
Oh,
and starts spying you. And again, maybe not perceptively, but another figure from the other side appears. and it seems to be stealthily just watching and maybe even angling to get behind you. At this point, I want to give you a chance to respond.
So he's just like staring at us.
They
I will
both
take it
are.
to the kitchen.
They have they seem to have shaved heads, and they have some sort of symbol on their forehead in the shape of an eye, like a third eye.
Of course, of course.
So we see them.
Yes, they kind of reveal themselves from behind the columns, and they kind of are both just kind of staring in at your group and not saying anything.
Okay.
I
well-
am going to keep my mouth shut as he talks.
Sir, it
to
appears
us.
we have guests.
Ah, yes. Please enjoy the hospitality of our fire. Quickly, Sir Figginsworth, build a fire for these fine men. I will be loading my longbow as
All
he
right.
does this.
So, without much notice, they both like pull their arms out of their robe cloaks, and they have shivs in their hands, and they both immediately make moves to try and stab Albrecht and Sir Figginsworth.
Well, that's
no.
just
I jump. I want to jump
wrong.
in front of him.
Oh God! I just wanted to find the kitchen.
Yeah, just wanted to find
Yeah.
out.
Ah!
We're gonna need you guys to
Yay!
make an initiative roll.
All right.
Not my master.
I love those fractional initiative rolls.
Yeah,
Gotta have the tiebreaker.
I thought I thought they would be interesting, and then I'm realizing they're not very.
I like
we're
it.
we're still waiting on Evie.
Oh, I
You know,
I see. I didn't.
yeah,
I did.
click.
I. It's because I can't
Oh,
see
you have
anything.
you cannot see anything. Is your token not set up properly?
It's all just black. I was about to message you, but
I've got the token vision on.
If anyone wants to fix the fractional initiative thing,
I can take care of that.
Nah,
I like it.
no biggie.
I like to
Yeah, it's
round
just the
up.
dex tiebreaker thing. Yeah.
It might be that I haven't.
You can just
So you have control of your character sheet, yes?
yeah, my character sheet, but not the.
Can you move the token?
No.
You cannot move the token. Okay.
That's weird because I can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
set
can
to
move
all
it too.
players,
Yeah.
but
I
let
can't
me,
see a single token. This
Are
screen
you-
is totally black.
Can you scroll or pan down? We're at the bottom of the screen.
It won't let me scroll down even
Really?
within my screen. It's weird. I reloaded it and it's still doing it.
Technical
Mm,
difficulties.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, just add. You can just manually do it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. You can
Well,
do it.
seeing is half the fun here.
But I can see over there on Albrecht's screen, so that's something.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you wouldn't be able to see. Let me.
Try on everyone's character sheet, take away the all player access and
Oh
then
yes, give it to
and
yourself.
then re-add it. Yeah, or that.
No, I'll do that. That's a good tip.
So you
Whatever
can't
works.
scroll. What's it doing when you try to scroll?
And there's no bar to scroll.
Hold the right mouse button and like does it let you drag and move?
Nope.
Oh.
All right, it
Alyssa,
just
it says
updated your.
loading.
It's
You're on
been
the loading
forever.
screen. Of course, you can't do anything.
But it's been on the loading screen forever.
Well, but that's the problem. It's not anything else. It's that it's stuck loading. So try
Okay.
to relaunch it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
No, it's nothing
okay.
you. It's just her setup
No,
over
yeah.
there.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Well, while she's continuing, I guess she gave a roll of 17.11.
Oui.
I'll add you to the turn order then. All right, so let's sort. Okay, so Evie, you are first, although I know you're trying to still see the situation.
I'll look over here.
So you're in the middle between Albrecht and Sir Figginsworth. There's a cultist on either side of you that's just revealed that they have shivs and are darting at you. What do you do?
over my dead body, and I try to get between Al. I want to move between the cultist and Albrecht, and then do a cantrip.
Okay.
I'm gonna do shocking grasp to the cultist that is closest to me. That's
Is that a
closest to Albrecht.
Using
Gotcha.
your hooves.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a magical grasp.
all right?
Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess I did.
So yeah, it hits. So 8 damage.
Nice roll.
That's my
Um,
clapping with hooves,
so yeah,
Clopping.
clopping.
what does it look like when the shocking grasp works?
Well, from my horse form, a spectral hand electrocutes this cultist, and I hope it kills him.
Yes. Well, as your hooves draw energy to him, it shocks him strongly, and he sort of fries in place and kind of withers down. It seems he wasn't as tough as he presented. The other one looks and sees this and says, he says, "You must be bled," and he continues forward towards Sir Figginsworth.
I bet he is shocked that a horse kills its friend.
Yeah, so he comes up to Sir Figginsworth and he goes to shiv you.
14 AC.
It's about time somebody shivved Sir Figginsworth.
Quiet, you. I'll deal with you later.
I've been wanting to shiv that butler for a long time.
All right, so he makes a move, but he's you see him coming. It's not anything you can't bat away, but now he's close by. So Albrecht, what do you do?
All right. Let's see. I've got my longbow, and I'm gonna generally try and stay away from people. So, this is what happens when you ignore my offer of hospitality.
It was
Whoa.
rude.
That will not hit.
Ah!
I must have gotten in your way.
That's it. I'm done.
Okay, Sir Figginsworth, how do you react?
I react by drawing the weapon of the gentleman, a rapier, and
Mm.
we'll try to give him a quick poke with it.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Fortunately,
And
he stands aside of your swing.
Trouble.
and as my bonus action, I like to be like, "Hey, you, chef. This man looks like an extremely tender cut of meat. Maybe you can chop him down to size." And I want to use the help
Ah.
action with Master
Ooh.
Tactics
Mhm.
for Chef Renault to do some damage, hopefully, to Mr. Three Eyes. That'll be it.
All right.
Triple I.
That's no way to treat a knife, I say.
Oh, that's
All
a
right.
knife.
Chef,
I'm
what
gonna
do you-
I'm gonna get in close, and I'm going to use my 2-weapon fighting. I'm gonna hit him with the chef's knife. Ooh, I crit.
Ooh, you know how to work that knife.
you hit, not a crit, but it's definitely hit.
Oh, never mind.
A
Yeah,
chef's knife plus
that's a
2.
crit.
Damn.
It's
All
a
right,
good
and as
knife.
my bonus action, I'm gonna follow up with my paring knife, offhand attack.
Horse.
Well, they both hit, so let's see some
All right.
damage.
Wow.
All right. So, are you attempting to kill this person?
Well, yes.
Okay. So go ahead and describe how your blows take them out.
I just come in and I slice them, and I dice them, and then I mince them down, and I take the knife out of his hand. I slice his hand off and take the knife. I chop him up like a piece of veal.
Gotcha. Really butchered him.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bloody mess on the floor. A couple of
Bloody mess.
dead cultists. One of them, they seemed intent on trying to poke you with shivs and implied that bleeding would be of good to them. But otherwise, were made quick work of.
Sir
What?
Figginsworth is always talking about everything being a bloody mess.
Sir Albrecht, are you all right? I hope these scoundrels have done you no harm.
I would feel better with a belly full of franks and beans.
Sir Albrecht, if I may make a request, can you please say Kaban Cohagen give these people air?
What?
Because you're doing it.
Say it
Never mind.
again.
Sir,
I didn't even understand it. What'd you say?
give these people air.
Give these
Total
people
recall.
some air.
All right,
But
thank
they
you.
are dead. They will not.
All right.
If we find the kitchen, I will make you Franken beans. Your Franken beans.
Then we must find the kitchen quickly. Go now!
Have we made it to the second floor?
Now we're
So
still on first floor.
Did we just go
the-
upstairs?
The stairs are side stairs. They lead to like a single room kind of thing, like dorms area. You haven't checked them out, but at the same time, you do also have a central corridor ahead of you.
Sir, the direction to the kitchen is probably this way.
Well, why are we not walking that way?
Let us go.
Come on, horse.
I am trying to clap as quietly as I can.
I will follow Sir Figginsworth. He seems
All
to
right.
play out of the house.
All right, Sir Figginsworth. So as you start down the corridor, you feel your boot
Oh shit.
step on a pressure plate. You have not long as you see out of the wall some blades appear and will be darting at you.
Oh,
Getting chopped.
So you need to make a dexterity check, please. A saving throw, I should say. Saving throw.
everyone?
Getting old.
I think just Figginsworth.
I think you
Um,
get more handsome as you age. Figginsworth
so-
like Michael Caine.
All right, so an 11. So the blades sling out of the wall and fly past you and slice you for 7
Oof.
damage.
Ow, all right.
Hefty.
Oh no.
Oh,
Good that
damn.
you have that fancy potion.
And so they slice across your back and shoulders maybe, and just kind of dice you up with and start bleeding you. You can, and they're almost designed to just pierce right through or slice right through.
Everyone, I have an announcement to make. It is wonderful news. I used Mozilla Firefox and now I can see.
I am so glad that the gods of browsing have allowed this.
Yes.
Is your regular browser Chrome? If so, it's accelerated hardware use.
I'm
That's the-
going.
That's the problem, but go ahead.
Thanks.
Help Sir. I'm gonna help.
Ah, Figginsworth.
Figginsworth.
I'm
going
quite
to
all
start
right, sir.
by sprinkling a little salt on the wound.
Tis just a flesh wound, you son of a bitch.
This will stop the bleeding,
Ah,
and it'll hurt.
Come, we must find the kitchen. Stop your lollygagging, Figginsworth.
All right.
slowly move on. Probably this time, probably.
Oh,
What?
I just meant to search the cultist robes, but I cannot do it with my
I've
hooves.
already moved on. I
You
guess.
stamp his body further,
Yeah.
kind of trample it a bit.
Ah,
But in your trampling, you feel only flesh and bone.
Cultists are always poor.
I would like to search for traps.
There's no
Oh, how
time.
novel. There's no
Just
time, he
go. We have
says.
to get to. I'm hungry now.
What were you saying, Kevin?
Figginsworth.
Now, I was gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna definitely keep my eyes open for any more pressure plates or any
Okay.
tripwires and other bullshit.
Yes. So in this corridor, you see on the ground, there's a bunch of blood in the middle of the corridor. Um,
Mm.
and go ahead and give me, is that your perception check there, or
Yes.
the
That's
11?
chefs, yeah.
Okay. So you see, as you are looking around the bloody area, um, there seems to be an outline on the floor.
Like at a crime scene? Oh, I don't see
I'm
it.
not sure what to make of this, but I don't think it's very good.
Yes, it
Uh,
looks to be some sort of paneling that's been painted to look like the floor.
so now we all see it. Do you call us over?
We're all
Yes.
here.
Oh, okay, okay. So
We may
the
want to be a little bit careful here.
so the outline is not in the shape of a person or anything. Like, what's it look like?
He just drew it.
It's
Look
I,
on the
it's
board.
it looks like, a couple of large panels on the floor that have been painted to look like the stonework.
okay.
So you've noticed them. They take up most of the corridor. You could walk around it, but you'd have to kind of shuffle around the columns a bit. But
I
that's it.
think it may be a trap door. Maybe it leads to a wonderful place that turns horses into people.
I'll
Well,
try to pry at the edge of it with the knife of the cultist that I took.
Okay. Why don't you make a DC or a dexterity check? Sorry.
come on, what's the DC?
Well, clearly less
Ooh,
than 17.
he
So
knows how to chop.
Nice.
So you're able to wedge your knife into the panels such that it would not spring if you were to step on it.
Hmm. So
I'm
we
just
can
gonna
bring the
leave the
horse
cultist
across it.
knife there then.
Yeah, if you use the cultist knife, that works.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, so the panel appears to be sturdy enough to not be sprung.
Excellent work, Cook.
It is safe to walk on, Renault.
I
That's
will put
yeah,
I will put
Chef
my hoof
Renault.
upon it.
Okay.
yes. I believe it's safe. I'm gonna pass over it.
I put a sturdy hoof.
Yes, it takes your weight. You do feel some give as you realize you're stepping not on stone, but it holds.
Perhaps the horse may want to go around.
Yes, the long way.
Ugh, I used to hear ladies first. Now I say out the way, you sack of horse.
I know an excellent ingredient for horse recipe.
I know an excellent ingredient for human.
No
Ooh.
one is eating the horse. Not
I-
yet.
Albrecht, I love you. Don't do this.
I need the horse for riding.
And for feasting, yes.
You
Back.
remember when I
I'm
was
gonna
a
get on the
person? What is
horse.
wrong with you?
You are my trusty squire horse, and I will ride you to
I
battle.
am a noble
I'm
steed.
getting on the horse.
Okay.
I get
Um,
my lance out.
I whinny in unwittingly.
All right, I will continue and I'll make another check for traps as I go up the hall.
okay. Make another
Oh,
perception check. Okay. You don't see any traps.
Well, that's good enough for me.
He can't help looking at his
Forward!
knife.
I drive my heels into the horse's flanks and
Well, you might stop as Renault uh, has some blades fling past him.
run like the wind.
do I have to make a save?
Oh yes, go ahead and do.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Ah,
Yes, you need to make a dex save, otherwise you're taking that damage.
Oh
not
good.
bad.
There we
Okay,
go.
so you maybe had a sense this could happen despite not noticing the trap and maybe pull up, or how do you avoid the blades as they
Uh,
sling past you?
I will channel my experience from coming up in a kitchen and I will dodge it like I dodge pots and pans from the chef who taught me to cook. I'll just duck underneath it. It's not the first time I've had a knife thrown at me.
Yes, I
Pretty
remember
standard.
you told us that time that you lost the cooking competition. They tried to throw knives at you, and you had to duck.
It was brutal. The culinary world is a cruel and fickle mistress. Fail, you're relegated to the junk drawer of culinary history.
That's right.
Come,
Along
come,
with
the
the
kitchen
citrus press
awaits.
and the egg peeler and all those other things that no one ever uses after they buy them.
I
So
work around it.
as you cross the seal in the floor there, a chandelier suddenly lights on the main space and the back wall, and you see
Oh shit.
the large chamber of the church leading to a front altar that's been modified. All the pews have been tossed, and there's blood and the same sort of demonic symbol painted as is under your feet now. You see at the very end of the colonnade another cultist standing, and he again he looks to be standing still and watching you.
Have these pews been removed and it's standing room only, or they're adjusted like the way that they're arranged is all weird? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so take the graphic as it is.
Okay,
They're
okay.
just kind of strewn about like that.
They need to do some redecorating. This looks messy, like they just moved.
The time to be a hero is now.
I think their brains do not work anymore. They are too.
I whip the horse.
Ah!
I want to
Oh!
charge at a full gallop with my lance and try and skewer
Okay.
this guy.
I go
Damn.
really hard.
So as you buck and give the instruction for her to charge, you might charge. Here, let me grab you guys.
I don't even totally want to charge, but
Oh,
like
you
my
don't?
horse instinct makes
He
me.
just does it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you get into the middle of the space here, the pews are kind of there's a path, but it'd be a little bit to charge him, and he holds his hand up as you move, and he says, uh, "Have you no respect for a ceremony as the guest of honor?"
You must honor my desires if I am the guest of honor, and I desire to drive my lance through your heart.
And so you may try, but in doing so, know that you are chosen, you and your family. This should bring you great pride.
I will kill you for speaking the name of what is my
Hammer.
fucking name?
Von Hammer or
Von
something.
Werfinheimer.
Oh, Heimer.
That name shall never leave your lips again.
Well, nevertheless, perhaps you have yet to comprehend your place here. I
Your place is
understand.
at the end of my lance.
Stand at attention.
Fine, then bring yourself closer. It will only draw him to you.
Whatever. All right, we're
All
gonna.
right, so you're gonna charge him?
I mean,
Normally,
it seems right.
normally I would resort to flattery, but I don't want to talk because
Okay.
You're being whipped.
So
Yeah.
let's do another initial roll.
get that in
I want to. Well, I'm gonna roll this, but I want to drink that potion.
11.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, I did not.
Oh, he's not doing so good.
No, I
I
got
like to
pretty
see
low.
that.
I forgot I could touch my token again, and I didn't highlight it. I'm sorry. Game masters everywhere.
Oh, that means you
including
go
Kevin.
last. Sucks, you know.
11
Harsh
is okay.
justice.
My wish is to not go last.
All right. So Sir Figginsworth is going
Yes.
to go first.
Nice.
So you see the horse charging with your with your noble lord. Do you spring ahead?
We are going to, yeah, we are definitely going to spring ahead. We're going to go 5, 6, making sure. We're going to go 30 feet, and oh shit, hopefully standing on the circle doesn't do anything.
Stand right in the
Whoops.
middle of it.
All right.
I give myself a
And
sacrifice.
we are going to, we're going to ready an attack action if anyone comes within 5 feet of me. We'll jab them with the rapier.
Okay. So yeah, as you step forward into the space and under the chandelier and over the symbol, you hear some like sort of out of this world laughing cosmic like Jabba the Hutt type stuff. And it kind of seems to be coming not from the
We've got a sound effect for
space,
that.
but from inside your head. And as you stand there and waiting for anyone to arrive, down from high above in the lofts of the cathedral, out of the darkness, hovers down the one and only
Oh my
Vilnox,
God.
the Beholder. And he floats down over the altar and over the cultist at the center, and he just in your mind you hear him laughing and speaking in a sort of guttural
Oh,
language. Sir Figginsworth, do you understand languages other than Common?
I know Elvish, Undercommon, and Goblin.
Okay. Think he speaks Undercommon.
ooh. I'm having some serious PTSD right now with this cackling guy because it reminds me of the one who turned me into a horse
Oh,
and the exact moment.
yes, you
Watch
hear
out,
him.
Figginsworth.
So Sir Figginsworth, you hear him, and it's hard to understand him at first, but he's welcoming you all, and he's thanking you for bringing uh, Albrecht and his clan to him.
Ugh. You, you won't be thanking us when I send you to hell.
Sir, I know it is in your the opposite of your nature, but please do not charge forward like I know you really want to do.
But I must deliver the killing blow, that I may be heralded as a hero.
Stop
No,
it,
sir,
they
he
want
wants to
you.
steal your beans.
Yes. Oh dear. He's in
Okay.
danger.
So he's now in the shit, and but he's kind of hovering there. And does anyone else speak Undercommon?
I speak
Um,
infernal.
I speak in something else.
Horse. Speak horse.
Yes, of
He
course.
speaks in deep
I speak
speech or
Elvish.
Undercommon. So okay, so we're gonna leave Sir Figginsworth as the translator then, should he choose to. But mainly you hear him, yes, welcoming and thanking you for bringing Albrecht.
You learn a lot of languages in butler school because you got to be able to eavesdrop.
Yes.
All right, so Sir Figginsworth, you've held your action. Do you want to do anything still?
Nope, that'll be it. I moved and that almost sounds like the DM's hinting that I should drink my potion, but I'm not going to.
Oh, no. I want to give you, I showed you something horrific. Actually, well, we'll leave it. In a different game, I'd make you make a fear test. But
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
We're too stupid to make fear tests in this
Yeah.
game.
okay, so if you choose to act, if you choose not to act this round, or you'd like to still hold,
Nope. I'm still gonna hold.
Okay. So after you hear him speak and thank you and all that, all of a sudden you feel a drop on your head, and then another one as
I'm
you
bleeding.
as you realize there's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Too many.
God, what's happening?
These pews look like they fit many shaped
Uh-oh.
head.
Oh.
That's a big red block.
Yeah. So it starts raining blood over you,
Hallelujah.
I knew it.
and it starts to just get all over the pews and the floor and coagulate, and just becomes a bit
Pu.
of slimy, difficult terrain.
I hate
Um,
this. Being
so
a
then it
horse.
is now Albrecht's turn.
Ugh. Who put that blood there? Okay, so we're kind of acting on the same initiative. What's your speed? What's a horse's speed?
I'm fast as the wind. Um,
Guessing probably
30.
it's
30.
probably not 30. It's
It's
probably
higher.
45 or
I just
so.
have it as 30 because I built it
Right,
as
right,
human.
right.
It's
On
probably 45 or 60 or something.
Well,
Okay, I can
let's
find
move up to the edge of the blood, and then I'll use my longbow.
Okay.
That was
Who
a
would you?
subtle suggestion to the
60
horse
miles an
that
hour.
I'm
Yeah,
riding.
yeah. I understand. I understand. I was just looking something up.
Come now to the edge of the blood. Do not
So
let it offend your horse nose.
the cultist underneath the beholder is got his arms raised, and he's like, "Yes, come, Albrecht, fulfill your destiny."
I got in the way of Albrecht and Destiny once before, and I will do it again. What have I to lose anymore?
Well, in
Right.
that
So who do
case,
you
I'll get
shoot?
off the horse.
Oh,
But I'll shoot at the cultist with my longbow.
okay.
Actually, I'll use my crossbow. Chapoo.
All right, you hit.
Not bad.
Okay, so an arrow strikes him and pierces his robe, and he's as he's like talking, and he seems almost unaffected, like it hits him, and he's like continues monologuing.
Oh my god.
And but weirdly, you see that it's bleeding bad, like you hit him pretty good, and he should be feeling more from this.
Ooh.
Suddenly the eye on his head, the painted on eye, it starts to twitch, and his forehead starts to shift as a legion form, a
Ew.
legion.
Oh, a legion. Okay, that's better
Yeah.
than a legion.
That's true.
And this lesion, it starts to pulsate and
Oh,
pulsate, and suddenly you see
Oh my
this
god.
eyeball has grown on his forehead and is now protruding from his forehead.
oh.
Um,
Repulsive. Ah.
so okay, Albrecht, that was your turn.
Yeah.
Any more movement, or is that it?
I guess I
Oh.
haven't used my movement. Have
Right,
I?
you rode the horse.
That's one of the
Get
benefits.
behind me.
No, I'll just stand up on a pew or something and then like get one leg up, Captain Morgan style, look dramatic.
Okay,
Some
Evie.
quickly paint me. At least sketch me
You
or
look
something.
handsome. If only I could. You abomination. I cannot abide this. And I am going to do magic missile upon the horrible mutated eye.
Okay. All right. You
You
rolled damage,
You
but
get two more.
Oh, wait.
oh
Magic
yeah,
missile is 3 bolts.
3 bolts. Okay.
Right. But okay, right.
All
Wait,
right.
magic missile is auto hit, right? Does
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus
Okay.
the shield.
Okay. So yeah. So what does your magic missile look like?
Well, it. eh, I guess I've never really thought about it. um, i- it's psychic force, right? Or I can't remember
Whatever you
what
want it to
thing
be.
is. Okay, well, I
Coming
guess
from a
it
horse, I mean, it could be apples for all I care.
I guess it takes the form of hearts coming
Okay.
out like a human heart instead of a
Oh.
horse heart coming out,
It's horrific.
and you know, like exploding upon impact upon him.
Sure.
Because my
Okay.
heart really lies as a human,
Great. So yes,
but
you
I'm grotesque.
so your magic strikes and splats upon him, and he grumbles at it, and all of a sudden, one of his eyeballs moves and draws attention to you very quickly suddenly. And let's see here.
I knew the power of love would impact him.
So four. So out of one of his eyeballs, all of a sudden, a fire ray shoots out at you, in response to your missiles. You're gonna need to kind of move out of the way with a dexterity check, saving throw. Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, one of the eyes just starts flamethrowering right at the horse. And Sir Figginsworth, I think you may need to make this as well.
Oh, it's so hard to move my body the way I
Okay.
want.
So Sir Figginsworth moves out of the way, leaving Evie to take a hit. Let's see here. All right, you take 12 fire damage.
Oh, I should have used my miracle potion.
All right, so now it is Velnox's turn. So after he shoots this fire ray, he cackles a bit and he hovers further over the altar, and actually just above the cultist here, and all of a sudden the cultist that has the eyeball like protruding from his forehead, the eyeball starts lighting up.
Can the beholder talk right now?
Sure.
I say, what do you want with Sir Albrecht? Why do you want him to be part of your sick, twisted tale?
And he says, the cultist below, who's strained to speak now because their face is kind of squished from this eyeball coming out of their head. He strains to say, Albrecht and your kin are to be his mate.
Oh.
Yes. He has decided in his great excellence that he shall have a mate, but not of his kind who would be unworthy, and not of your kind who would be unworthy. Of his own making, you shall be formed into his mate.
Do you love him, Albrecht?
It's weird. Wait, can I understand this?
Do you love him?
So he's the cultist is
the
translating.
cultist is saying this? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
That is why I brought you here.
All right, so
I'm
Albrecht.
very flattered, but you see, I am already married to my sister, so it just wouldn't work out.
No, nothing can come between them.
She's a very jealous woman.
The cultist, he says, "We shall all be one." And the eyeball on his forehead suddenly, so it's like one of the eyeballs on the beholder shoots down at the cultist and refracts that over at Albrecht. It's an unseen ray. It's an invisible ray. But you feel it tugging at your body. Albrecht, make a strength saving throw.
Ooh, I can bench press 300 pounds, 200 when I was 11. I think I can handle some stupid eyeball ray. Yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
Nice. So
19 and a 20. Pick one.
Yeah, you feel it tugging at your clothing, but it doesn't have the force to move you. But you feel that it was trying to move you.
I've never been with a beholder before.
Yeah, maybe you should
We are missing
sacrifice
out.
yourself for me.
I'm
Chef,
You
what
ever
do you
cooked
think?
one? You ever cooked one up?
Chef, I would like to eat that beholder, please. Please
Now.
carve off a hunk of it for me.
right away, my lord.
It's already a hunk.
Uh, I am going to attempt to hide.
It's not really what I had in mind, but
I'm gonna move first. Not sure how far I can go. Let's see. Attempt to move over to.
I bet Sir Figginsworth is overwhelmed with the desire to mop up the
I'm
blood.
going to attempt to stealth after I move. I'm going to do the hide action. My cunning action is my bonus action. Oh, not very good. And can I use my standard action to drink the potion of stone Aegis?
Bonus.
Yeah, you can use your bonus action to drink it. So if you chug that, track 20 temporary hit points for yourself.
Yes. All right.
So you try, which direction were you trying to, where are you at here? Okay, there you are. So you're moving to the left. So as you move over there, it's not as stealthy as you might have hoped. As you realize that behind these columns appear a couple of other cultists who are laying in wait.
mm-mm.
Oh no.
No.
Do you want to act? Otherwise, or I guess your
I
stealthing is
think
your
I
act.
did all my moves. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all I
Okay.
can do.
Cool. So it's the cultist's turn. So the ones that were behind the columns here, one's gonna move up to you. He pulls out a scimitar,
Ah,
and then the other one is also gonna move in the shadows to hit you. We'll do those quick rolls.
Have they all been using scimitars so far?
No, this is the first you've
I
seen
thought
them
so. Okay.
wielding larger swords. All right.
Oh no, they are taking out so big.
+3. Okay.
I just wanted this beholder to hit me and turn me into a person on accident.
All right. Does a 22 hit Renault?
yes. I have a 12 armor class.
Okay. So they both hit, unfortunately.
Ouch.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed.
Oh horse.
I get it.
That'll be 11
Ooh.
damage to Renault. All right, so they pull out scimitars and they begin slicing at you. You get the sense they're not trying to like cut your head off or impale you, but they just want to draw as much blood as possible and maybe loosen up your skin a bit.
Oh, they're trying to
Yeah,
wear our
they're gonna
skin.
cook you.
So two more appear from
Uh-oh.
behind columns. 1, 2. I'm gonna say they this one back here stumbles to cross the pews, and then and is approaching you. While this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one too is also making his way. All right, that's the end of this round. Sir Figginsworth.
See, the blood's difficult terrain, right?
Yes.
Ah. All right, let's mosey just a little bit up there. So we're probably slashing through the blood, drop the rapier, grab the short bow.
You're so badass.
Yeah. Let's fire a shot with our short bow at top cultist attacking my chef.
All right,
Ooh.
you hit.
Ooh.
Mm-mm-mm.
So
And then,
the one up front, dead center.
I know the top one right above Renault.
Above
Oh,
Renault.
gotcha. All right, so 9 damage to that guy.
I believe I get sneak attack just because he's like by an ally.
He's adjacent.
Nice.
So are you moving over there, or are you?
No, I just took a few steps and then shot.
Okay, there's a column right in front of where you're shooting him, so you can still hit him, but I just wanted you to be aware there's a column
Yeah,
line
I
going
see
down
it.
the side.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
But yeah, okay, so you hit him from the side of the column, and you deal him 15 damage. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
as the bonus action, we will 30 feet. That works. Sir Albrecht, be careful for this one. It looks quite dangerous. And then we'll do the same thing. Give him advantage on this guy. And that'll be it for me.
Okay. So after you hit that guy, he gets pressed against the wall, but suddenly the painting of the eyeball on his forehead starts to pulsate, and
Crap.
an eyeball grows out of his forehead, and
We
he
gotta
gets
end
back
this.
up. Um,
Ugh.
he's not quite dead yet. So okay, so the room, Velnox laughs in all of your minds telepathy,
Mm.
and let's see, the columns start moving, and appendages start growing out of them. Um, anyone within 2 squares of the columns on the side will need to give a dexterity check or become grappled.
I'm within 2, aren't I?
You're
Are they?
you're in the
Are they?
center
No,
of the
no,
room.
the columns are at the side. So I think only Renault needs to make this check, no one else.
Okay. Cool. You can do it, chef.
13?
Yes.
All right, you saved.
Ah.
Hey.
So these appendages come out, but with all the hacking and moving around, you're already ready to dodge. But it's quite gruesome as these bloody arms and hands start grasping from all the columns.
Mm.
Albrecht.
So we're coming up on time here. I mean, it's probably gonna end up going over 90 minutes this stream. We're still getting a handle on things here, but what I just want to tell you what I'd love to accomplish. So I'd love to get Albrecht on this horse and do a final charge and use the potion and use my action surge and try and use my lance as many times as possible and kill this thing.
Sure, give it a go.
What do you think, Evie?
I think that I am sick of this virile man trying to take advantage of you. And so I will go for it.
We must end this now. This whole place is made of tentacles and blood.
I did not want to go on Jerry Springer with a beholder.
So we're gonna charge
Okay.
as hard as we can. Dun, 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 etc.
I always dreamed of being a prize-winning steed.
So I'm not sure how far can we move here.
Oh,
Can we just
we're
do
at
it?
an ending move,
Okay,
so
great.
it would be really silly if you couldn't reach him.
I'm glad to hear it. Evie, I need a horseback.
Okay, I clop into the blood. Wait, oh, there you are, right.
All right, so bringing my lance to bear, we charge through the blood, splashing Sir Figginsworth up and down with whatever this sticky blood is, and I,
Forms
with
a
using
smiley
all of the
face.
power of the 1 horsepower that we
Horsepower.
have, ram into the thing with the lance. And I'll drink that potion on the way over so that we can have and use my action surge. Here we go.
I'm just imagining you like almost trampling Sir Figginsworth.
Didn't.
It's like
Yeah, I imagine it as that in slow mo too. I
Yeah.
have a miracle potion if you need to re-roll, sir.
How did any of that look?
Okay. All right. So you hit with 2 hits.
Oh, good. Ooh.
Sh-
Oh.
Should I take a miracle roll
ain't
so you
bad.
can re-roll one?
I mean,
Right,
Well,
so
it's
pretty
only for
good
me,
here.
actually. Yeah, that's good.
25. Yeah. All right. So you impale this thing. It's not dead, but it's writhing around with your lance in it. It's all you can do to like maintain your position on Evie as this thing writhes and spins around in agony. The cultists all begin to wail, and they fall to their knees and they just start pulling at their eyeball protrusions, and they all sort of basically convert to their final form before they
Oh.
die, which is that
Oh.
the eyeball completely protrudes from their head and tentacles spring from their hands. They writhe around
oh,
as such and wailing on the ground as their leader cries out in pain.
Not bad.
Oh.
And
Yes.
alas, no mate shall be had for Velnox today.
I do not want to see more of these populating the world.
As I said, you will never speak the name of Von Werfinheimer again with your filthy mouth and all of your eyeballs looking everywhere. You're sick. Go back to the hell from whence you were spawned.
And I said I would send them to hell, and now your sister will come after them next for revenge.
When my sister hears about what you are trying to do, I tell you, you will regret
She is a
it
harsh
even more
mistress.
than you have now. She's crazy. I
So it's
really
spinning
don't
in
like being
madness.
married to her.
A woman
it was a
scorned.
mistake, I think.
The children
Are
are
you going to answer me?
distasteful.
You're being very rude.
And this thing wails in its guttural tones, and it bursts out of the cathedral window, stained glass, out of here.
Crying. It's
Yes.
crying.
You'd better run. Yeah, quickly.
Who will go to the dance with me
Frankenbeans
now?
time. We have a perfect table here.
Yeah, true.
All right. So you drove off the foul creature.
Beautiful.
Let's hear your epilogues.
Yeah.
Woo!
Albrecht, go.
So this is what we do. We're gonna roll a d20 and see how things kind of shape up for us. I think Albrecht was pretty effective, surprisingly.
Yeah.
That last attack was very good.
Accidentally.
So I'm gonna roll on the good table. So I got the result is bitter. You know what it's like to be utterly crushed, casually brought low, forced to eat your own words, and stand mute and powerless before your enemies. They gloat, and you are helpless. So clearly, this doesn't go as well as Albrecht thinks it's going to go. So here's Albrecht returning home to his estate and finding the beholder in bed with his sister who he's married to.
Oh.
So that's my first sentence. We're going to go around. Everyone's going to do 3 sentences about their character. And this is from the game Fiasco, which is a great game. So next.
So now it's me.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 9, which means not better, but not way worse. And that means here's Evie crying alone in her stable, trying to figure out if she can use her power to turn herself back.
Oh, yeah, because you're a magic user now.
Right.
All right, Kevin.
All right. I don't think Figginsworth was as helpful as he could have been, so I rolled on the bad table.
Good.
I got a 3,
Oh.
which is horrible. You are probably dead. Other people, probably innocent people, are as well. There is no justice. There is no mercy. Everything is utterly painfully screwed, and it is all of it, your fault.
Nice.
So here's Figginsworth. maybe desperately trying to avenge the name of everyone he was just with. Maybe he tries to go after the beholder before it gets into bed with the sister. And well,
Well, we can come back. Yeah, we're gonna have some more sentences to
Yeah,
resolve
that's
this
true.
shit. Carlos.
I think Chef Renault did all right. He was somewhat helpful,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't ever make it to the kitchen. So I'm going to
Mm.
roll on the bad table.
That's a good
11.
point.
So it's rough. You are getting whipped like a rented mule for starters, and you will remember this episode for all of your diminished days. The lesson you learn will be profound, lingering, and painful. Chef Renault, he never made it to the kitchen. He probably nicked his prize chef's knife while gutting that cultist. And not to mention, he never got to turn this beholder into a soup or a stew or something.
Mm,
So, he let down
pathetic.
Albrecht, and Sir Figginsworth is probably going to whip him.
He
So,
would like it. He would like it.
so we're back around. So here's Albrecht. Uh, let's see. So the beholder's in bed, right? So here's Albrecht charging at the beholder with a lance once more, stumbling and skewering his sister instead.
Oh.
Alyssa.
uh Here's Evie using using her muzzle to drop off notes at the woman she's in love with's house, Genevieve, and hoping that she can convince her that she is really herself underneath um, this horse costume she now wears, but to no avail. No, her love never finds her notes.
here's the orphanage that Figginsworth thought he saw the beholder run into. And now there's bodies, lots of
Oh,
bodies.
You killed them, the younglings.
the potential.
Uh,
Yeah, and
Carlos.
here's Chef Renault. Finally, after this beholder is put down at long last, he gets to use it to make an amazing casserole, and he wins a chef's competition, and is recruited by an even more powerful, more wealthy noble than Albrecht, and he leaves.
All right. Here's Albrecht on the run for killing his sister, a noblewoman, who and sneaking into Chef Renault's new home, uh, planning something dire, I'm sure.
Frankenbeans. That's
Yeah,
what I call it.
whispering Frankenbeans, bring me my beans and my francs. Renault, you are all I have left. Uh, okay.
Here's Evie desperately clopping into the wind. She has no family left. She doesn't think she will ever find adventure that will solve her problems, so she joins a cult and tries to start over.
That's fair.
Here's Figginsworth pulling the rapier out of yet another dying child, seemingly gone mad in his quest for the
Wow.
beholder. And there's only one more life to take.
Yep.
Into the gut.
Here's Renault starting a kingdom-wide competition, which he names the it can't be
The
the
Great
chef.
Waterdeep Bake
It
Off.
can't be the Iron Chef. That is copyrighted, I
The
think.
eye of the
Yeah, yeah.
beholder.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody heard you say that. Don't worry.
No,
You hear that, people? You didn't hear it.
yeah, it's the Copper Chef. You know.
Yeah, Copper Cook.
See, that's
Yeah.
allowed. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, great. So that was a little experiment with our epilogue thing. I think we'll get the hang of it as
Yeah.
episodes go. It's
I
always
like
fun
it.
to have a little extra closure there.
Hmm.
So that brings us to the end of our episode. And oh my God, we almost did it completely in time. We even had a little
Oh,
hiccup there.
wow. Yeah,
So
that's really
kudos to
good.
everyone. Thank you so much, Freddie, for
Yep.
hosting today, and thank you so much, Kevin, for being a
Yeah,
special guest
Kevin.
Yep.
player.
Yay.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing this next
Figginsworth.
week and then the week after that, and hopefully all the time.
Yes.
So tune in, guys, and check out Zero Session. Woohoo! Okay, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
Later.